Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out HBAR's price chart. And believe it or not, despite the recent face down in the last, let's say, 12 hours, I'm actually seeing in here some very optimistic signs. And the most important sign is that this move up right in here doesn't really seem to be in form of an impulsive structure. Now, why is that actually an optimistic sign? Because in my analysis, every single time that I make a new update, I say, look, if you want to be bullish on a chart and you want to say we have hit our final low, then okay, you need to be able to find off of the recent lowest low a 5-wave impulsive structure up. But right away, I said the fact that this is not a 5-wave is actually an optimistic sign. You see, it actually comes down to this. If this would have in form of like a clear-cut 5-wave, then okay, at that point, I was going to tell you, look, I'm open to the possibility of having a wave 4 and then another move up into wave 5. And this means what? We can actually have like a deep pullback down to about these levels around, let's say, the 21 cents area, meaning from the current point, we can get like a 10 to 15% move on the downside. However, now, for two reasons, I'm going to say probably our wave 4 hasn't really finished yet. And after it's over, we are going to have another move up into wave 5. Reason number one for why I do believe this is still a correction into wave 4. Actually, I think we talked about this in the previous update as well. You see, in my view, there's like a very good chance we are having in this area an A, B, C in form of a zigzag structure, which sort of kind of got confirmed the moment that in this phase up in Hedera, we took the height of our V-leg right in here. Now, in my view, this is actually a good sign suggesting, sure, maybe this move is going to continue a little bit, and in it, we may very well even take the lowest low down here, but at that point, we're not going to go a whole lot lower. Why? Okay, you see, whenever you are having an initial phase down followed by a bounce back, you need to, at that point, pay full attention to how deep this pullback is going to be. If we get like a relatively deep pullback, and for example, Fibonacci wise, we retrace to about, let's say, the 78 to 90% level, okay, that's going to be a really good sign suggesting there's actually in the short term a balance between bears and bulls. And while you might see a move down, but in this phase, since again there is a balance, we're not going to necessarily go a whole lot lower than the lowest low down here. Now, let's just do this. Okay, let's measure this move up Fibonacci wise and see how deep this pullback actually is. As you can see, we retrace to about more than, let's say, 90% level. So if in Hedera we're gonna get a move down, then okay, I expect HBAR to reach to about here, and then from this point I want to see a very strong bounce back. And in terms of the patterns, I think you may have clear subwaves for, you know it, an ABC flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move down into a correction for wave B, which one very important characteristic of it is actually being quite a deep pullback like the one that we are currently having, and then another move down into C. And in this phase, we are either going to take the low of our A leg or we're not going to take it. And for example, this is going to finish right around here, and then we're going to have another strong move up. Now, in terms of the subwaves, ABC down into A, ABC, or maybe a WXY, honestly, from my POV, doesn't really make that much of a difference. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into C. If we just go on the live chart, you can definitely identify the subwaves, because I think from this point to about here, this is A, this is B, and another move up into our C leg. And in my view, in Hedera, in the next, probably I'm going to say 24 hours, this move down can continue a little bit, and it might very well be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. But remember, there's actually a good chance, as long as we are staying above this very important level between 22.5 to about 23.5 cents, we're just having the subwaves for what? An ABC flat into this wave 4 that we talked about earlier. And this scenario says, what's next? Yep, another good move up into wave 5. So again, let me repeat that. In the short term, maybe this move down is going to continue a bit, but after it's over, which I do think is soon going to be over, we can expect another very good, strong move on the upside. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Hedera. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.